Welcome to the Wealth Roundtable Season 2 with Sean and
Dwayne Venable.
Oh, and we are so excited to be back with you all. As you know, last year, I believe it was actually May the 5th, Dwayne, we launched Season 1 of the Wealth Roundtable, and we were planning on coming back in Season 2, February 2023, but life had its way and a series of events took its place. So we want to cut to a video and show you what we've been up to since February 2023.
God is faithful. And Never Lost is such a powerful song with a powerful message. The first time I heard it, I knew it was something that everyone needed to hear. It was during the time when the pandemic had just reached over here to the United States. And I don't know, we just felt a sense of hopelessness. We felt like we were up against something that we couldn't get over, that we couldn't pass through. And it's a good time to be reminded that the God that we serve has never lost, and he never will. He has all power. Nothing takes him by surprise. And he has come through for me time and time again. I heard something the other day, and I thought it was so profound. It said, we only doubt God when we forget about what he's already done. We serve a God that cannot lose. He's never lost, and he never will. Believe for It is a powerful song, and I pray that everyone who hears it will release their faith for the impossible. Why? Because we serve a God who specializes in the impossible. I remember being in the hospital, and my brother Ronald was on the operating table, and the doctors came in and said, we lost Ronald. And my father said, well, can we pray for you? And you go back in and give it another try. And the doctor looked at us and said, hey, if you want to. And we all began to pray. My father laid hands on the doctor, and he went back into the operating room. And the next thing we heard, Ronald was in recovery. So we lost him, but the God that specializes in the impossible brought him back. And so if God can raise the dead, he can handle anything that you're going through. Anything that you've been through, he can handle what you're facing right now, and he knows what's happening in the future. So you can release your faith and believe. He responds to our faith. God responds to our faith. So don't be nervous. Believe, and God will show up and do what only he can do.
Wow. Dwayne, as you look at that video, what do you think? Oh my goodness.
I don't know. It just takes me back, because it seems like such a long time in that time. Even though it was a short period, it just seemed like forever sometimes. Through some of those days, I can just remember it seeming to be forever, because I wanted to see the change. I wanted to get down the road a little bit faster, but it was all in God's time, and I just thank God for being able to be there and do what I needed to do.
Yeah, so that's our miracle baby, Gabby. If anybody's been following us, Gabby's doing well. Mom, Tiara's doing well. Dad is doing well. And Gabby is moving and breathing and having our being. But we took some time to reflect, because in season 1, and we've said this, wealth is so much more than money. It's so much more than the tangible. It really rang true for us in this particular chapter in our lives. So as we come back and we refresh the Wealth Roundtable, it will have a very, very serious focus in season 2 on faith, family, and financial freedom. Not only the financial freedom part, but the faith part and the family part, and truly being enriched. So, Dwayne, I'm just going to ask you a question, like our journey of life. Every test, trial, tribulation, and triumph that we have been through, when you think about wealth now, what does wealth mean to you?
Just so much more. Like you said, even though a lot of things are answered about money, and you can do a lot with money, being able to be there in those times, being able to be there for your family, being able, and wealth doesn't always mean that I just got millions of dollars stacked up in the bank, but just being able to step away, take the time I need, and be there with my family, for my family, and when they're not able to be there, and I can stay in their stead, and just walk that walk for them, or be with them, hold their hand, and be there in the places that they can't, at the times that they can't, and just fill in the gap for them and be with them in the difficult times. There's so many times that people want to do things, want to say things, or want to help out with things, and they're just not able to. Doesn't mean that they're not good people. It just means they're just not able to do it. And I think wealth, to me, is encompassed into all of that. Like really having that time, the resources, and the ability to do different things with your family. So I think that's why. That's what I see as wealth. I don't really monetize wealth. I look at it as just the ability to be there for your family when they need you.
Yeah, I love that. As you were talking, I thought about when I said faith, family, and financial freedom. When I think about that, and you see my shirt, shout out Dr. Joyce, wealth is my portion. That means that peace, nothing missing, nothing broken is my portion. Healing is my portion. Deliverance, freedom is my portion. And so when I think about the faith aspect, again, is nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing broken, and everything that God has said about me, that I am able to walk it out. I'm truly able to obtain that promise because He has given me authority to do so. When I think about the family aspect, I think about the times that we were able to be there with Tiara and Gabby. We just recently had a graduate. Shout out to Kiana. UNC Chapel Hill, our baby graduated, and being there for Bianca and Tiara and DJ, and just being able to enjoy our families, having karaoke night, date night, also being there for your children when, there's something difficult that you need to talk through or navigate through, being able to have the family support, a healthy family. And then, our parents that have always poured into us and that continue to pour into us, right? And then from a financial freedom aspect, I look at it twofold. So there is a part around budgeting and understanding assets and appreciation versus depreciation, right? But there's this other component about utilizing what's in your hand to tap into multiple streams. And I like this. That's my jam right there, the wealth factor, right? There's so many gifts and talents and skills that lie within the inside of us. And we would be surprised. The solution to someone's problem is often in our mind, in our mouth, in our hands. And just an example would be like, someone that loves to create flyers, or someone that loves to create digital content, someone who wants to be a coach, someone that has a startup business. There are so many different opportunities. And I say I'm the 9-to-5 corporate athlete, and I love my corporate job, right? But what other means do I have so that maybe if I want to retire early, if I want to stay home with baby Gabby and let Dwayne go full time to work, we're able to do those things, that you're able to vacation with your family. And it's also about starting where you are, because when Dwayne and I were really young, we had to get creative. We didn't have a lot of money. So we had to have karaoke and date nights at home. We often took our children with us, not knowing that was actually going to be something that was going to launch into our future and stick. So I have another question for you.
Sure.
And then you can just spin this. So during one of the last seasons, your mom passed away. Yeah. And we were actually going to take a break and not air, and you wanted to uphold and honor her legacy. So thinking on that time to now, you have your children, and now there's another generation that's come before us. What are some of those things that your mom deposited on the inside of you and your dad continues to foster that help you along the way?
So I think it goes back further and deeper than even that, because, a big influence on me was not only my mom, but my grandma,
grandma.
Yeah. So, for a long time, I spent a lot of time wanting to do stuff for her, give her stuff. And the more I gave to her, the more she gave away. So I was like, Grandma, I'm trying to help you. She's like, well, I don't have money to get my medicine. And I said, Grandma, don't ever. You and Granddaddy should never go without your medicine. Just call, let me know. But, I would give her money. She would give it away, and she would give it to somebody else because somebody else needed something. She felt more than what she needed. and that was powerful to me. And I'm like, well, no matter what I do or how much I gain, so I had a conversation with her, and I just talked to her about, what, I want to do more for you, but grandma, you can't give it away. And she said, baby, you've done more for me anyway than you could ever do, because really all I want for you is for you to succeed, for you to do better, for you to go further. So that kind of hit home for me, because the same thing I always tell my kids is, they say, oh, when I get older, when I get better, when I do more, I'm going to look out for y'all. Y'all going to be able to retire. And I'm like, no, I don't need for you to do for me. I just need you to be able to take care of you. So I think...
Hold up, but that would be a bonus. Like, they could throw me a house or a car.
I know, I hear you, but still, the pride in it for me is seeing them succeed at the things that I taught them to display the values that I instilled in them. So that we've instilled in them, the time that we've taken to plant seeds for them, to see those seeds grow. That is my reward, right? So I don't need monetary things. I don't need anything else from them. I just want to see them succeed. So anything they give me, I'm just going to plant it back into them for it to be there for them when I'm not here. So that's the reward. That's the win for me. So
now I do love that. All right, I'll ask you one more question. Now I'll probably ask you a few more questions because you know me. Yeah. But the other question that I have for you is, like, as you think about Gabby, you think about legacy. Now you think about kind of what we're doing in our additional stream of income through real estate. Has it taken on any additional meanings for you?
I think my gears have been turning long before this, but I think now the way the method, right? The means and the method have presented themselves. So I just want to take those things that I've learned and start applying them. But as I apply them, I learn new stuff. So it's becoming more and more of a push for me to get into different streams, because we can earn money today. Like, we know how to make money right now. Like, if I needed something right now, I may not be able to get it today, but you give me a couple months, I will have what I need. And I think that's cool, but I don't want to have to think about it, right? My whole thing is to create this residual income where I won't have to worry about it. And even when I'm gone, the kids won't have to worry about it. When we got to learn to leave money like that'll fill our space if we're not even here.
Yeah.
Right. No matter what we do, we fall off today, that money's still coming. Our family's still gonna feel that. It's gonna still feel that. They won't feel a financial void. They may feel that personal void, but they won't feel that financial void. So I'm learning to put those things into place so it'll fill those gaps for them. Even long after I'm gone, they'll still feel my income. It'll still be there.
I kind of feel like this is like the whole Gabby show, because it's kind of centered around her. They gave us new meaning and new purpose. But for me, Gabby spent some time in the NICU when she was born. She is our miracle baby. And the thing that really got me is, as we were in the NICU, we had such a strong family dynamic, community dynamic. I mean, kind of global, international, local, you name it, it was there. There were so many families that did not have that same dynamic. And I thought about kind of like economic power. I thought about equity, equality. I thought about families and parents who may be in single parent homes or may not have the means to support. And then, we had the ability and the blessing to be able to visit the Ronald McDonald Home, which is a nonprofit organization. I didn't even know to the extent of what they did and the support that they offered, especially for moms in the NICU. And it just, in a way, it blessed me so that we were able to sow into families and love on families and provide emotional support. And I have so many NICU babies that and families that we've been able to kind of bring into our fold, and we support one another. And then in a way it broke my heart because there's so many people who are often left behind and don't feel like they have that support. And so when I thought about kind of our blessing on our job, our blessing through real estate, the blessing through coaching, various means that we have and opportunities we have, like how do you truly make sure that you're building upon that so that you can continue to sow and so that you can continue to give back? And so wealth for me is so beyond us. I think a lot of times we live and we make money just for us, to your point. And it's supposed to far outlive you to serve a greater purpose. And that has really taught me something. So I'm praying that our children are able to see, that people are able to see. And, I'm going to be honest with you, like even doing this podcast, I think when Gabby was born and when everything happened and life happened, I was like, I don't even want to come up here anymore. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, like transparent, right? But I'm realizing that we all have a story to tell. And as we amplify our voice for the right reasons and the right motives, our story and testimony alone are so powerful, and it can be a blessing to someone else. So Dwayne, what are you looking forward to in season 2 of the Wealth Roundtable? Because I'm excited.
Yeah, just having these talks, like you said, and I really want to go back and reiterate something. Shout out to the Ronald McDonald House.
Yes.
They are making a big difference in this community. In every community. They are, I looked into it more and more after, our situation, and I'm realizing that it has touched multiple lives around us with different people and different things they have gone through. But the Ronald McDonald House, that's my charity going forward. I'm telling you,
yes.
they are doing some great things. And if don't believe me, don't take my word for it. Look into it for yourself. Okay,
that was your commercial right there.
Yeah, because I really appreciate what they're doing out here. So look into it.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing. I don't have the history. I'm definitely going to go back and visit it. But I'm thinking about even nonprofits that get started. This is just a conversation right around the table. But even nonprofits that were birthed forth or created out of pain or out of someone else's trials, and then now it's able to turn that into a promise for someone else's life to be sustained and to live. So just don't forget, there's so much purpose inside of you. Everything that you go through, whether it's feels good, bad, or indifferent, it serves a greater purpose. And don't internalize that, but use that to be a blessing to someone else. So I am looking forward to bringing in guest speakers, tapping more into faith, family, and community, bringing trusted individuals that have been a blessing into our life. Wealth is knowledge, wealth is power, and sometimes even to be in the room with great people and hear how they think, how they process, and how they apply those learnings to execute are just invaluable. So, Dwayne, I'm going to let you say the last words. I'll say this, and then he's going to close out. Please close out. But if no one's told you that they love you today, we absolutely love you to life. We want you to make sure that you come back, subscribe to our YouTube channel, check us out on Facebook. We'll be here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, Dwayne, closing remarks.
All right, season 2, faith, family, community. We're going to talk about our families. We're going to talk about building families. We're going to talk about the faith. We're going to talk about building communities and just a lot of good things. So stay tuned. Welcome back.
All right, bye.